você sabe de Transformers? O que você sabe de Transformers?
Eles se transformam.
Você, tia, o que você sabe de Transformers?
Eu acho
A gente acabou de sair de Transformers. Foi uma experiência interessante, já que eu não gosto da franquia, mas deu até uma vontadezinha de assistir agora.
Gostei.
Gostou?
Bastante.
Gostou, tia? Quer ir de novo?
Put back on your knee, what are you doing?
Aqui é a Super City Funland, que é a área de crianças do parque. Uma presença pesada dos negros.
Got something on your back. Ask and shall receive. A mariner. I got my big Bertha. Boom! Right into the water hazard. Now do us a favor. I want you to stand in one spot. Using Chuck as a shield? I never liked Chuck.
De sair de Waterworld. Foi a segunda vez que eu assisti o show e sempre o show é muito emocionante e vale a pena assistir todas as vezes. You are? Okay, right over here. vai tentar correr para pegar o último tram do Studio Tour. Ai, esse parque tá cansativo, só correr pra lá e pra cá porque tá muito cheio.
You heard me right. We are seriously 104 years old. But don't get it twisted, this is Hollywood. So we don't look a day over 93. Daily. We have coaches like Gwen Stefani, Blake Shelton, Kelly Clarkson, and John Legend on that show. That's their office when they come to work. Now, Kelly Clarkson has another office in stage 1 for the Kelly Clarkson Show. That's right, a new NBC talk show with the one and only Kelly Clarkson. So, you're going to see a lot of activity over here on our left. Look at these guys, hard at work, building sets right in front of you. And it looks like for The Voice, I'm just taking a wild guess because that wall in there says The Voice on it, so probably so. Oh, I have to hop off the microphone. These flashing red lights means filming is happening right now. Alright guys, that was pretty exciting. See, any flashing red lights means filming is happening as we speak, and that was for the TV show Superstore on NBC. It's one of my favorite comedies.
It's hard in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
You will see a bit of their set, as this stage is also dedicated to the show, and that's another part of the department store that is called Cloud 9. You actually see Cloud 9 in a different TV show on NBC called Good Girls with Retta Mae Whitman and Christina Hendricks, so there's a lot of robbery going on in that production and do rob Cloud 9, which is kind of awesome because it's from 2 different TV series. Now we are driving forward here, another soundstage door opens. You can see some of the sets in there. Those lights, that it looks like a ladder, but those are actually lights that light up images called cycloramas, so it looks like the outdoors when they're really indoors inside of our stages, where you can build any kind of world. It's also been used to build sets for game shows like Hollywood Game Night. Pretty cool. This street is what we call Sitcom Alley. In the back in the day, we had the Jeffersons, Coach, Who's the Boss, Charles in Charge, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Those filmed in these stages. But today it's new shows like Good Girls on NBC and new and old shows. I would want to say, I'm sorry to say it, but The Good Place saying goodbye to us on their 4th and final season. They filmed in stage 44. That stars Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. But look at all this stuff, you guys. Good Girls cast and crew trailers there. These are the dressing rooms to the stars, and back in the day, dressing rooms were these bad boys, these bungalows on the left-hand side. Now, they are designed to be home away from home because, well, actors were actually contracted to work with just one studio at a time back in the day, so they essentially had homes in the studio. But today, these are now production offices, and they're home to some of the top writers, directors, and producers in Hollywood. One of these parking spaces, no big deal, belongs to Jennifer Lopez. Yes, to the right of that Ford Volt. Chevy Volt. I am car breed challenged. I don't know what that is, but it's awesome. She produces NBC's World of Dance, another boss lady in the studio, Elizabeth Banks, Brownstone Productions. That's here at Universal. And to complete the boss lady trifecta, Martha De Laurentiis, who heads the De Laurentiis company. And this is her office. Bungalow 5195. That used to belong to the master of suspense himself, Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah. Hitchcock. Sir Alfred Hitchcock. He made 53 movies. I would list them all, but then the tour would be over. Now, it sounds cheesy, but it's very true. The world is around the corner. You can design our sets to represent any part of the world. You can be in the past, the present, or in the future. Now, you can really see that we can go anywhere. Even within the U.S., on the opposite side, we have the East Coast with architecture that looks a lot like this. We call this set Brownstone Street. And what it's missing right now, the art direction, the set design, the props. It's naked. It's indecent. It's just not dressed. We call those hot sets. Anytime you see that term, that just means the set is ready to go. And here's a great example of a hot set when this was in Bruce Almighty.
Place the dog! I'm in the shower!
And take note of what you see on your screens that is not present right now. We have these plates on the left on the ground that can be lifted up to plug in any lighting fixture, maybe to even place potted plants like trees, like the one he's leaning on. All of that is missing right now because no productions are filming, which is why we get to be on these sets. Keep that in mind, because last summer it was so hard to take any guests out here because there was so much filming going on for one of the biggest blockbusters that hit the theaters this year, Hobbs and Shaw. That stars Dwayne Johnson, Idris Elba, and Jason Statham. Anyone went out and seen that? You saw this as London, England, not as New York, because you can remember transform our sets to represent any part of the world. And that's right, guys. And you also saw this recently in American Ninja Warrior Season 11. The obstacle course is right in the middle of that set. Will and Grace, Hobbs and Shaw, Hotel Artemis, Fate of the Furious, Furious 7, Captain America, the First Avenger, The Amazing Spider-Man, Transformers. I mean, you get the idea. But guys, we have left that urban jungle. We're taking you to a different one. Brought to you by an Academy Award-winning director, Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and...
Please sit down and have fun! Just sit down and have fun, damn it!
That guy trained me. Now on the left, take a look at these awesome picture cars. We got some from Magnum PI, well, one from Magnum PI, and it's kind of fake. That is a fiberglass shell with a Volkswagen engine. Now, if I told you that earlier you were staring at nothing but fiberglass and plastic, that was our backlot facades. We create these using lightweight materials because it makes it easily, you know, lightweight to move around on the set. Now, with the backlot, we can definitely change the look of those buildings if we wanted to, or destroy them. And that's the same concept with these picture cars, like the fighter vehicle from Transformers. That's 70% plywood. So if you took it into battle, you'd 100% lose. Sorry. Joseph has one too. Okay, I'm rubbing it in. Sorry about that. Here's the thing. I wanted to talk about this picture car from the Lost World, the Mobile Research Lab. Notice how the weather is making things much worse for these guys? It's also setting the tone. Now, weather in Hollywood is hilarious. It just doesn't happen, naturally anyway. But we're going to actually demonstrate to you how this is an effect created in front of the camera. These are known as practical effects. We're going to enter this next area of the backlot. It's one of the oldest areas in the studio. It's been around since the silent film era. Bienvenidos, mis amigos, a Mexico. Yes, this is old Mexico. And it was featured in Three Amigos, directed by John Landis. Also in Lady Gaga's music video, Judas. But right now, we're gonna, you know what, hold off on the rain. I want to show you lightning, and maybe we can hear thunder. Yeah, I'll turn it on, why not? Because thunder on the film set, not really happening. You're filming and recording dialogue from the actors. So the sound of thunder is actually one of the sound effects. 90% of sound is added later in post-production. I just turned it on because you're putting this on Instagram. Now let's make it rain! Water, not money. I wish. Beautiful. Think back to any soccer game or football game that you were watching on TV where it was raining. Could you see the rain? Not really. Very hard to capture rain on camera. So our rain is created with a lot of density so that it can appear on screen. And we're producing this with a very sophisticated piece of high-tech machinery. Sprinklers. Now we angle the sprinkler head upwards so that the water shoots into the air first and then falls down. It looks natural when it does that. It's pretty cool. And oh, okay, I'm sorry. Cancel. Unsubscribe. Unfollow. You guys, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the button that says El Niño! Look out, everyone! Oh, good. R1, is that it for you? Ay, caramba. Sorry about that. That was my call.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
The flash flood was also featured in this scene from Big Fat Liar, starring Paul Giamatti, Frank Muniz, and Amanda Bynes. Now earlier I misspoke. I referred to Lady Gaga not as the Academy Award winner that she is this year at the 91st Academy Awards. She did take home an Oscar, and guess what? So did we. 3 of them, in fact. Visual effects went to First Man, directed by Damien Chazelle. A Spike Lee's joined BlacKkKlansman, taking home Best Adapted Screenplay. And the big prize went to Universal, the 10th Best Picture winning movie ever. This year was Green Book, starring Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen. When I say 10, I mean that this studio has taken home 10 Best Pictures in the 100-year streak? We'll work on it. On the left-hand side, 6 Points, Texas. Earlier, you see the sign that's a special event. It was actually used by the LAPD. They were doing some training services out there, which is really cool. But that was the site of Lancer, a TV series, a Western, that was featured in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. That was his 9th movie. They were out here last year filming. Marcos Q. I want you all to give me your best disaster film scream. As you can see, we have a little bit of wreckage up ahead on the left, so we want to really paint the scene here, kind of get into the Hollywood vibe. So when I say action, you scream. Ready? Action! You guys, that was awesome. I almost said it was pathetic, but it wasn't, so that would have been a lot. What's up, man? I said, you can turn this off now. Marco, it's not funny. What is that? Oh my gosh, the worst. You guys, this is not Marco's fault. It's the San Andreas fault. You guys are really selling. It's okay. You went into shock. It's normal. Just, you know, go to your happy place. Mine is Starbucks. I heard you say Disneyland. Keep it to yourself, sir. Ooh, it's on fire. That's not good. Marco, can you hear us? Oh no. We're doomed. Totally doomed. I'm too young. I'm too beautiful. Whoa! Oh, brother. Well, listen, I'm so sorry. I did it again. I pressed the wrong button. It's El Nino! Wow, we did it. We survived an 8.3 on the Richter scale. Hands together. For surviving earthquake, the big one. Oh, was that a weird thing to do? Theme our backlot beach to a killer shark movie? What? Do you guys hear that tuba? No, not the tuba. Not the. Oh, great! There's a shark out there. Who do we call? Don't say. Thanks for saying Ghostbusters. Well, we don't need them. Look at it's Hank from the Amity PD. He's a shark buster, and he's gonna use that famous left hook. Or is it the right hook? Or a fish hook? Anything, Hank? No! I can't believe it. The bakery's closed. Yeah, Hank's dead. Hank's dead. But don't worry, we have a safety sheet. Alright, Joseph, in the event of a shark attack, find a bunch of gasoline tanks and park right next to them. That's weird. But we're gonna do it. Hey, you guys, we're gonna need a bigger tram! Oh, the humanity! Oh, the terror! My leg! Interior, you can film in and out. However, you can't do that with the yellow house because that's just a facade. A French word meaning false front. Beautiful on the outside, nothing on the inside. Like me. On your left-hand side, that is a full street. That is what we call Colonial Street, but you know it best as Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. Now, one of my favorite shows recently just used that set. Good Girls with Retta Mae Whitman and Christina Hendricks. And it's also used in Mindy Kaling's new Netflix production, Never Have I Ever. Boom. Mother Bates. Don't look up there if you haven't seen it. Huge spoiler. The backyard, one of the most impressive sets ever created. Welcome to the airplane crash site set from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. We're looking at a real 747 aircraft purchased for $60,000 from an airplane graveyard in the Mojave Desert. And to transport it to the studio, that cost $200,000. You see, guys, even Steven Spielberg has to pay shipping and handling.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision of Stephen.
Again, to sit down to talk about War of the World. I thought, what if this?
E assim termina o nosso primeiro dia na Universal Studios Hollywood. Espero que vocês tenham gostado do vídeo. Se inscreva no canal e tchau! Hoje tem Halloween Horror Nights. Eu tô só o pau da rabiola, mas vou tentar mostrar pra vocês. A gente se vê lá dentro.